Hi, I want to share with you a very special devotional. In this particular devotional, what happened was we have a church member who has worked really hard at deepening their spiritual life for a very long time. And when I borrowed this devotional from him for this, he said, "Oh, don't worry about it. I do 5 a day. I can always catch up on that one." 5 devotionals a day. And out of all of those that he's read for years, he found one that he said, "This is us. This is our church. This is our pastors. This is who we are." And that was one that came from Guidepost, a division of Guidepost. It's called Mornings with Jesus. And the person who wrote this particular devotional is Barbaranda Lumpkins Walls. Now, I may not be saying her name right, but you can see it right there. Maybe you can figure it out.
I just wanted to share, this is one of the devotionals I use. It's called Mornings with Jesus. And it has something in here I thought applies to all of us. And just give me a couple of minutes to read 2 paragraphs, short paragraphs. I even noted how brick and mortar churches became virtual sanctuaries as worship services and Bible studies were held online. I was grateful to see my own pastor and other ministers deliver powerful sermons via the internet to encourage and uplift us. Despite the dire circumstances, God's work continued and Jesus was praised. Although I know the Lord is everywhere, I became even more aware that he cannot be contained within the walls of any house of worship, and nothing can thwart his plans. King Solomon had just completed construction of a magnificent temple in Jerusalem, and his prayer dedicating the edifice, he too recognized that the Lord is much bigger than any dwelling. It stands to reason that our worship is not to be confined to a church building. While corporate worship is wonderful, there is still nothing like meeting with Jesus one-on-one in a quiet place. No live streaming, no apps, just give me Jesus. That's no virtual God, but he is virtually everywhere. And after I read this, I thought, this is us. This is our congregation. This is our church. This is our pastors.
Now, let me give you a little bit of context for this. This passage that they were looking at is from when King Solomon had come to dedicate the temple, the one everybody still says that was the one that was the glorious, most wonderful temple. David had saved most of his life to be able to build the temple, and God said, "No, you have to wait and your son gets to build it." And so now it's been built, and Solomon is there as the king dedicating this temple. And listen to what he says in 1 Kings 8:27. "But will God really dwell on earth? The heavens, even the highest heaven, cannot contain you. How much less this temple that I have built?" Sometimes we get wrapped up in what we think church ought to be or look like, or how we ought to be able to gather. And God has, I think, been teaching us for a while now that God is bigger than that. God wants not just to reach a building and sit there. He didn't die for a building, he died for us. We are so grateful and so blessed that we have a building that we can meet in, and that it's constantly being blessed by God in amazing ways. And we are so blessed to be part of the fellowship that meets there. But we have grown beyond that. God couldn't be contained in that building. He is just there and other places. So my challenge to you this week, my hope for you, my prayer for you, is that you will experience God in many different devotions, many different ways that you have spiritual disciplines in your life, that you'll go closer and closer to Jesus. And as you do, my prayer is that you will not only grow beyond needing to be in the building to experience God, but you would experience God every day and every moment in power and in glory. That's my prayer for you, and that's my hope for you. Let us know what spiritual disciplines you're trying, and if you need help with some, we're here for you. Just let us know. God bless.